Sorry this video is late. This is supposed to come out on Wednesday and it's probably going to come out Friday. My bad. They cut my Wi-Fi and most of my electricity for 2 days. So we're good. We're back now. I'm in a pretty dress and my hair is a mess. So let's do this thing. Alright, we are going to be making vegan ramen in a drawer. It's going to be vegetables and ramen. And you can do this ahead of time and put it in your fridge. Keep it for lunch, and come lunchtime, just put water in it and put it in the microwave at lunch. Don't forget to take the metal top off. Alright, firstly, we have our glass jar. I think it's called a 16 ounce or bigger that I have here. Mine's recycled. It's a very old jar. My first ingredient I have is 1/4 of a green bell pepper and about 2-3 sprigs of green onions. And that's what I've already got cut up here, like this. We're also going to need a few mushrooms. I've got red potatoes here, these little bitty ones. I'm going to cut up in chunks and put at the bottom. I've also got carrots and some seasoning the vegetable bouillon I'm going to be putting in, as well as half a packet of ramen. Like, I get a packet of ramen, you throw the seasoning away, you split it in half, and you take half, and that's what we're going to be putting in this jar. So I'm going to get everything else peeled and cut up, and we're going to make this. Before I forget, while I've got my hair up and I'm cutting the vegetables, you can add about 1/4 of a block of tofu or a serving of tofu and put that at the bottom as well, with a little bit of water and our vegetable bouillon and our seasonings to let that marinate so you actually have chunks of tofu in it. I'm not putting tofu in mine, but I hear that's very, very good. We've got our mushrooms here. I've got them cut into about thumb-shaped pieces because I've got some rather large mushrooms. And I'm going to peel these four small potatoes, about 2 carrots, and I've got my packet of ramen I'm going to split and put in my jar. Alright, now I've got my AC turned off and you can hear me. I've got my green onions, my green bell pepper, and now I'm going to be cutting up my carrot. I have about 3 small, medium-sized carrots. I'm going to be cutting those into about thumb size or fingertip chunks as well. I have about 3 or 4 slices of my mushrooms. They were rather big mushrooms, so I only need about 3 or 4 of them. But I'm trying to get everything around the same size. Now, if you wanted to, you could actually use your peeler and make the little ribbons with the carrots instead. So it'd be long strings like they would be the noodles. But I like the chunks in mine. Now I've got my packet of ramen split. I'm actually going to break these into about 1/4 or not, and to put them in our drawer so they fit. But first we're going to finish cutting our carrots. We're going to put our vegetables in. We're going to peel and chop our potatoes around the same size as we did our mushrooms and our carrots. I'm going to be using a spoonful of the Better Than Bouillon vegetable bouillon right here. I'm going to be topping it with sweet and sour sauce, as well as some parsley, basil, oregano, paprika, some nutritional yeast, some turmeric, garlic salt, garlic powder, soy sauce, and sesame oil. You're probably gonna watch me do all that in a minute, but yeah, we're gonna put in the potatoes first after we peel them and put them into cubes, and then we're gonna add everything else on top. I almost forgot. While you're doing your potatoes, you can also just use half or 1 sweet potato, but they're a little bit harder and denser and they're a little bit harder to cook. So if you're going to do sweet potatoes, I suggest taking it and microwaving it for about 2 minutes and letting it cool, and then cutting it and putting it at the bottom with the rest of your vegetables. if you're going to be more of like healthy glycemic index or more nutrient dense potato as one of your vegetables in your ramen. Now I've got one potato in there. I've got 3 more I'm going to peel. So I'm just going to do that on camera real quick. Because the potatoes are going to be the first we're going to have. I'm going to put them at the bottom. Now if you're not going to be eating this same day and you are using it as a meal prep, you are going to need to put some sort of liquid or marinade at the bottom to keep your potatoes fresh and to keep them from turning like a weird like brown color. Because potatoes, the longer they stay out unpeeled in the air, they're more likely they are to turn brown like apples do. So if you're gonna cut those, keep them in water or some sort of liquid so they don't brown, and leave those to like marinate in a little bit of liquid at the bottom, and just pop in the ramen when you get there and have the vegetables all in the jar already prepped and ready to go. Or at least have some space between the liquid and the ramen so your ramen doesn't get all squishy. Like I'm going to be eating this today as my lunch. So right after I finish cooking it and taking pictures, it's going to be reheated and eaten. So I'm going to be putting liquid in mine and all of my stuff all together. If you are going to be using this as a meal prep and you use potatoes, the white potatoes, you are going to need to put some sort of liquid at the bottom to keep your potatoes from turning brown and getting gross. These little potatoes are so cute. I don't eat white potatoes. I only eat red and sweet potatoes. Because I find those are like more nutrient dense and they just have a better flavor than the white russet potatoes. I might be wrong. So that's how I live my life. If you want to leave the peeling on your potatoes or have roasted potatoes, that is also a good idea, but I cannot stand potato peelings. So I peel my potatoes. I give the potato peelings to my animals that eat them as a little treat. And what I can't feed to my animals, I compost. I have a little compost box outside in the yard, and we use it for fertilizer for our vegetable garden. We grow potatoes and tomatoes and all that kind of fun stuff. Cut this. Got it. My little potato, I cut it in half again. This one's larger than the rest. I'm going to cut it in about 8 pieces, 10 pieces. That's the bottom layer of our ramen. We're going to take our half of the package. We're going to be breaking it into about 4 or better pieces so it fits inside the lid of our jar. Like that. Then we're going to be putting in all of our vegetables. I've got plenty of vegetables, so I'm probably going to have to pack it down at some point. Just shake it and it'll settle. And you'll have more room. Because the smaller pieces will fill into the tinier cracks at the bottom, and it should all fit. Shake. See? And it's making more space so we can fill it with more ingredients. Yum. Now, it might be difficult to eat this out of the jar, so maybe pour this into a bowl if you can. If not, I mean, you can just tilt it to the side and use a spoon. It'll come out, hopefully. Alright, I'm going to add some more of our vegetables after we add some water and everything soaks down a little bit. We're going to be filling it about halfway or better with water. And then we're going to be putting it in our microwave for 2 minutes. Then we're going to add in our seasoning. We're going to give it a quick stir, add our extra vegetables. Then we're going to give it a quick stir, and then we're going to put it back in for another 2 minutes or until our potatoes come out fork tender. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, it's been 2 minutes. I've taken our ramen out of the microwave. We're going to add in our dry seasonings, our oils, and our spoon of bouillon. Then we're going to add in our extra vegetables. Give it a quick stir with a chopstick. I have metal ones. And then we're going to be putting it back in the microwave for another 2 minutes to 4 minutes, depending on how you like your noodles. I like mine incredibly soft, so I'm going to put mine for another 4 minutes. Okay, but we're going to take Let's see what measurement I feel like using today. This is, I believe, 1/4 of a teaspoon. 1/4 of a teaspoon, we're going to put parsley flakes. Boom. 1/4 of a teaspoon of dried cilantro flakes. Boom. And 1/4 of a teaspoon of basil. 1/4 of a teaspoon of oregano. Now I would put garlic powder, but I'm nearly out and I want to make tofu scramble for breakfast tomorrow. So we're going to be putting about 1/4 of a teaspoon or less of garlic salt. If you've got fresh garlic, I suggest using a clove. I'm also going to be using 1/4 of a teaspoon of cumin. And as well as turmeric. Teaspoon of turmeric. Boom. That lovely color and the anti-inflammatory properties it has. It's always good. And we're going to add in about 1/4 teaspoon or more, 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon of sesame oil. You don't need much of this. It is strong. There we go. About 1/4 of a teaspoon. We're going to be adding in our nutritional yeast and our bullion. Now, nutritional yeast, a serving size is about 1 to 2 tablespoons. We're just going to grab a soup spoon. Put a little bit in there, and that's good enough for me. If you want to do it the right way and measure out a tablespoon or 2, that's probably a smart decision. And we're going to dry off. Clean kitchen towel. We're going to take about a teaspoon of vegetable bouillon. Stir that in just a little bit to get it all off of our spoon. Like that. I'm going to take one of my metal chopsticks. Put that to the side. Put in our extra vegetables now that we have space for them. Funnels would be easier, but they would also be more of a pain to wash, so it's good enough. We're going to stir this in with our little chopstick. Stuff's going to fly out. It happens. I put probably entirely too much vegetables in too small of a jar. It happens. Anyway. Cool. I'm going to be putting this back in my microwave for 4 minutes to help it soften up, get the noodles to cook, and have my potatoes completely soft and fork tender. Alright, it's been 4 minutes. Our ramen is done. Now, I suggest leaving it, you have time to cool because of the extended period of it being in the microwave. If you can't wait and you're very hungry, I suggest putting on an oven mitt and pouring it into a coffee mug or a bowl. Now, I'm going to be eating mine out of the jar with my chopsticks, and I'm also going to be adding some sweet and sour sauce to taste. But other than that, I'm done. That's lunch. Yeah. Now, quick reminder, I added all my seasonings to the top. Don't do that. Add them before you add all your vegetables. You put potatoes, then you put your seasonings, then you put the rest of your vegetables, so it'll stir easier. I didn't do that, and mine all came to the top, and I had to keep stirring it. Put the seasonings more towards the bottom so they distribute evenly. Yeah, but it's all done. It's all got these lovely vegetables in it. It's well seasoned, and it's delicious. Now, to be careful about your sodium intake, making the seasoning and adding the vegetables ourselves is fine and dandy, but you still got to be careful about sodium when you're doing a prepackaged product like pasta. So, yep, that's our video. Thank you for watching. This is a late Wednesday video. I apologize. The weather's been very bad, and I lost electricity and Wi-Fi, so I could not upload a video. And even when I went to work, the video would not have been able to have been uploaded there either. So yeah, I had to take sick day, scheduling, Mother Nature. It happens. But yeah, that's our recipe, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I post. I am supposed to post on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday is our breakfast, Wednesday is our lunch dinner, and Friday is our dessert. Speaking of Friday, you're going to watch me make that video in just a minute, because I'm going to have the same outfit on, because I'm filming both of them today. And as always, my social media is SweetGAmber. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or if there's a video you'd like me to make, leave comments at the bottom. Hit me up on social media. Every picture of the recipes I do is going to be on Instagram if you want to see a better picture of it. This is hot, so I'm not going to bring it up towards the camera for you to see. But it is good, and it's going to have a pretty picture in the thumbnail, so you're going to be able to see it. But yeah. I'll see you next time. Bye now. Oh, always be careful with knives. Be careful with microwaves and glass. Do not hurt yourself. Bye.